I was thinking, people say this all the time, so now what? I've been doing what I've been doing for, decades. It's what I have to do. Now when do I get a chance to do what I want to do?
Well, and that's what we do here at Omega Wealth Private Capital. We help you get from the I have to's to, wow, I get to.
I'm Brad Johansson.
And I'm Joe Wilson, and welcome to another edition of Wise Money.
Welcome to Wise Money. I'm your host today, Mark Henry, and of course I'm joined with Joe Wilson, founder and CEO of Omega Wealth.
You
Joe,
look way too good.
I don't know about all that, but I feel good today.
You should feel good. You're filling in for B, Joe.
I know. Well, I love filling in for him, but I wish it was because he was in Rome or France or doing something fun.
He had taking his dog for a walk, and dog pulled him one way and his foot
I walk my
the
dog
other.
Every day. I mean, what is going on here?
Him, so
but it happens.
Nice little leg injury and had some surgery, but he's coming back. He's healing. B, Joe, we miss you.
Yep.
We love you. Smooch, smooch, kiss, kiss.
Yeah, gotta have it done. But we got an amazing show today, and what's cool about this show is that Joe and I, again, I'm just filling in, so I have no idea what we're going to talk about. But truly, we don't sit down and discuss all this. But right when I sat down, Joe tossed from the other side of the table a book to me.
I love this book.
There you go, Three Little Pigs, and I'm like, okay, and
I love that story.
I don't have grandkids yet, so I'm not ready to start reading this to them.
I bet you read that to your boys.
I did read it to both my boys and my daughter.
I bet our audience probably knows that book well.
Well, sure, Huff and Puff, and and you built your house out of dirt and whatever, twigs.
Yeah,
so what is this about?
We got the Three Little Pigs. And
I know it.
It's the Huff and the Puff and the Blow Your House Down. And you're the modern retiree. You're watching this show and going, why in the world are these two guys sitting here talking?
Yeah, what didn't you not talk about the Three Little Pigs for? I'm kind of wondering myself.
I bet you are. Here's my promise to you. These next 30 minutes, you're going to think about retirement differently if you're watching this show, because I'm going to give you a little story that my Mama Connie used to read to me, and it has such an impact. I've been sharing this with a lot of our educational classes with our folks in Indianapolis and our folks at Cincinnati.
Well, you're growing.
We are growing. We're growing like crazy. Our team is growing, and we got another city marked, and we're getting ready to head to that. So, yeah, we're growing.
Well, before we jump into the Three Little Pigs, I want to ask you a question. I'm going to ask the audience. Do you know why they're growing so fast? I do.
Well, we work hard.
No, it's not that. A lot of people work hard in business and never grow at all. Because you're serving and doing something that people need.
Well, I appreciate that.
And because of that, you're seeing. Now, just because you go out and do the right thing and serve doesn't mean you're going to see rewards. God's very clear on that in the book of James, and you can read that. However, this to me is a sign, a symbol of your faithfulness to just serve.
Well, we're
to just help people. You are. That's the whole point, though. And your clients are responding to that. That we did a show, the last show we did when I was filling in, but they're talking about hundreds and hundreds of people in Indiana, in Ohio responded.
Yes.
That doesn't happen when you put out an info, buy now, pay later. That's not what's going on here.
No, it's being information.
It's amazing because you're going at it with a serving attitude, and that's incredible.
Well,
Tell me now how a modern retiree, your words, can look at the Three Little Pigs and change their retirement.
And I think this is going to focus. And like I said, many of you have read this story. Maybe you've read it recently to some grandkids. But I see, because of the show, and thank you for those beautiful comments, we are passionate about it, our team's passionate about it. So many folks are in retirement and are just unsure and unaware. And I want to talk today, Mark, I want us to cover, these are 3 areas that you must be aware of if you are getting ready to retire, maybe you just retired. And that is the Huff, the Puff, and the Blow Your House Down. We're going to talk about first the Huff of inflation. You know the story as the pig is building the house of straw, and the big bad wolf comes in.
Got the page right here. I built my house of straw.
Read it.
I built my house of hay. I toot my flute. I don't give a hoot. And I play all day.
I love that. Inflation is a silent killer. I love it. I love to say it this way. It's a termite. It's eating away, if you're not careful, at what you have saved and amassed. Every one of these notes should come with a warning. right? They should come with a warning. And the warning should say, this note will lose value. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the huff of inflation. When you realize that today, it is almost 25% more expensive to live today than it just was in 2020. So many folks are coming off the show and they've retired for 5 years and they're going, I'm worried about our plan. The markets are up, but we feel like we're struggling. Part of the reason, listen to me right now, if you're watching this, listen to me. Part of the reason is because many times we're seeing folks come in, and if they have a plan, they're using a very poor number. They're using a 2% inflation number. Mark Henry, the 50-year average from JP Morgan on inflation is 3.8%. We have been over that the last 5 years.
No doubt.
But here's what that means to you, the modern retiree. If you are starting to retire and you're taking money out and you have not used a proper inflation number, what does that mean? If you're going to keep the standard of living you have when you retired today, you better be prepared to take out more dollars because those dollars are losing their value. So it's astronomical how it's affecting the modern retiree because the dollars don't go as far.
Before we have to go to break, I want to ask you this question. Brief answer. Just give me a number. What is your opinion of what the inflation rate really is right now? Would you say it's probably 3.5?
Well, that's the stated.
Is that the stated?
It comes in that area. You're in the low 3s right now.
All right. How come people don't know their personal inflation rate?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is this. You can hear what the news tells you, what we're telling you right now. But the Joe Wilson inflation rate is higher. That's right. It's higher than it was.
Yes.
And you say, why? Why is Joe's higher? Well, he has a son that's a famous golfer, or at least getting ready to be.
He's trying to be.
And he just won the Ohio Invitational. Is that not correct?
Yeah, Ohio Am Champ. Thank you.
Do you travel some to go see him?
One of us tries to. I don't get to do it as much, but my wife does, and it's expensive.
Okay, and that's exactly right. So you've had to raise your household inflation rate.
Absolutely.
What about the viewers that are listening right now that need to clean the gutters and they shouldn't be cleaning the gutters?
Yeah.
They should raise their household inflation rate right now because it's a job they can do, but they shouldn't do.
Part of the reason is, in my opinion, is because dollars are getting tighter. And so what the last thing you need to be doing, listen to me, don't you get on that ladder.
Right.
I have a big tree in my back patio. It needs trimmed. It needs cleaned out. I told my wife. Now
you can do it.
I'm getting ready to hit 50. I can do it, dadgummit. I'm not dead yet. I'm still thriving.
But you shouldn't.
She goes, there's no way I'm getting you on that ladder.
Right.
But why are we even talking about that? Because money is not going as far. And listen to me right now. I know we got to go to break. But if you have a plan and you need a plan, if you don't have a plan, you better listen to us right now. But you get one shot at retirement, and if you don't nail down how much money you can take out, adjusted for inflation, and what we're getting ready to talk about next, over the next 30 years, you are running a gigantic risk that you could run out of money. Why? We're seeing it day in and day out. We got to fix it, Mark.
Phone lines are open, 844-657-1072. 844-657-1072. You can take your smartphone. There's a QR code on the screen. Here's what happens. This is the best I can give you. It really is. Joe has graciously agreed to give out his book, The 5 Agreements. Now, Joe, was I supposed to limit it to 15, or are you just going to open it?
No, we're doing this everyone. We've given out hundreds. No matter how. We've given out over 1,000 of these just in the last 6 months.
And they're not going to pay shipping or anything.
We will pay it. Our team will send that out to you.
The 5 Agreements. This is going to help you get started on a much more confident financial future. And all you have to do is pick up the phone right now, 844-657-1072. I've never said this on live television, but stay tuned, because coming up on Wise Money, we're going to talk about the 3 little pigs. Stay tuned.
In retirement, it's not what you have, it's what you get to keep. Why creating a Roth IRA strategy now will help get the government out of your pocket. We'll explain next.
My grandfather was an old Texan cowboy oil man. I remember him telling me, you can only worry about the things you can control. Never worry about the things you can't control. The election's going to happen every 4 years. Every 2 years, we're going to vote different folks in on the Hill. We call it legislative risk. It's the beautiful structure of our government. We vote folks in and out, and every 2 years, the power on the Hill shifts. So change is constant. It's the certainty of uncertainty. You have to recognize that because we're planning it over 30 years. So how do we as advisors take that uncertainty and create a plan? And the fact is, we have to control what we can control. You can't control how much risk you're taking. Do you have hidden risk inside the portfolio? What about the tax debt? What kind of income plan do you have structured that's going to go along with Social Security, or what if Social Security isn't there in the form that it is currently? If we can control those measures, it doesn't really matter who's in the White House or who's on the Hill. Because now when it comes to the financial planning of your life, we've taken that variable out because we have something that is certain, because it is a very uncertain world. Control what you can control. What is the number one fear around those entering retirement and just having retired? What is it?
The number one fear is that you're going to run out of money before you die.
We have a window right now where there's some amazing tools where we can disinherit the IRS from that pot of money. So many times you've been saving and doing things, and that might be the right tool for that season. So when's the best time to prepare for rain? When it's sunny out.
When it's sunny.
You don't wait till it's storming. 2001, 2002, 2020. We go back through here the last couple of decades. There's going to be bad times in the market. Well, where do you go to get your income? Your retirement cannot sustain that. The only way those work out is if you retire and there are several good years right after you walk out of the office. You have to control what you can control, and you cannot control what happens in the markets. You get one shot at retirement, and if you're missing one of these agreements, that can crush you. You cannot go into distribution years with the same tools and hope. That's not a plan.
Welcome back to Wise Money. I'm your host, Mark Henry, and I'm joined today with Joe Wilson.
What are we talking about today, Mark? I threw this book to you. I said, we're going to do a show on this. You're like, no, we're not. I'm like, yeah, we are.
We are. We're talking about the Three Little Pigs.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. No, don't go grab the kids and put them on the couch. They would like it. We're having a good time, but that's not what it's about. It's about how the Three Little Pigs, and that story, from how old this book is, I have no idea, but it's obviously very old, but how it impacts the modern retiree's money.
So we talked about the huff of inflation.
Yeah, let me just lead you in. You ready?
I'll get into the puff.
This is the puff. I built my house of sticks.
You love reading
I
this.
built my house of twigs.
Yes.
Yeah. With a hey diddle diddle, I can now play my fiddle and dance all kinds of jigs.
Randy, our director's back there. I need you to do me a favor. I need you to take that clip of Mark, and I'm putting that all over social media.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
Sure
that's really going to help me.
That's going to go great in Charlotte.
Yeah, it's going to be influencing.
Listen, we talked about
what is this about?
The puff of taxes.
Oh my
so we
gosh.
talk about the impact
Puff of taxes.
For the modern retiree when it comes to inflation. I want to talk to you now about an area that I think so many of you are just ignoring. Why do I say that? Because I see you come in the office, and we see what you have amassed in wealth. There's over $40 trillion right now in the United States of America. $40 trillion sitting in accounts that have yet to be taxed. What a ticking time bomb. And I am very thankful the big, beautiful bill has extended for a time. What we're seeing is the third lowest bracket. But what I'm alarmed at is how many folks come in and the realization of, boy, our advisors never talked to us about this. We don't have a
advanced tax plan.
And when we bring it up, the worst they're telling us is, just worry about it at 73 when you have to start taking money out, or at 75. Listen, if you've got an advisor that's telling you that, you've got to make a shift, and here's why. The debt that is building on that, the compounding debt, because there are things you can be doing right now in this season that will astronomically change your future. I am not telling you.
Change your children's future.
Thank you. I'm not telling you that you should convert every dollar of your qualified money into Roth. I think that I've seen people do it. Had a gentleman not too long ago recently retired up in Troy, Ohio, just north of Dayton. Amazing family. Been working with us for about 3 years. And he retired after 1 year being with us and left. He knew this was an issue, and we put a plan together, and he has converted over $500,000. Now, he did not enjoy paying taxes on that $500,000 that he converted.
Yeah. Well, but what he was choosing to do, in my opinion, because whose money was it, Joe? His?
Well, part of it, but the rest of it was Uncle Sam's.
But it was his.
Yeah.
He was choosing to pay taxes today at a known rate versus paying taxes in the future at an unknown rate.
Because the certainty of uncertainty when it comes to legislative risk is huge. And that's exactly what he did. What's amazing is that a couple of years ago, we've seen that amount that he converted has almost grown back to what it was.
Yeah,
and
because
now it's all tax-free.
And it's all his.
And it's all his.
Or his kids.
That worked for them. What would work for you? If you're not having a tax planning, listen, I challenge my advisors. I say, listen, you have to have this message. It is your money. And the truth is, Mark, every retiree listening to us right now has a plan. It's either the government's plan,
right,
or it can be your plan. And the impact of taxes, we talked about $60,000 coming out a year in our first segment. And the impact it would have with inflation. I want to give you this number. If you're taking $60,000 out, which we see very common, and so you probably see that in Charlotte.
Yeah, okay.
In addition with Social Security, that's what I need.
Getting decent living.
But when you adjust that for inflation, but then you put the impact of taxes, if you hadn't paid taxes on that, and you go out 20 years after inflation, and if, let's just say, taxes I think will change in 20, but let's just say it's a 20% bracket.
Okay.
You're looking at almost that 60,000 needing to take out 162,000 to spend the same after taxes and inflation. That's astronomical.
Wait. You lost me here for a second, and I was right there with you.
Okay.
So you're telling me that I'm retiring today. I'm not. I'm way too young, obviously.
You're a spring chicken.
But here we go. I'm retiring today. I need $5,000 a month from my assets. I'm taking it from a 401,
yes.
401, 503, whatever it's called.
403, yeah.
Plethora of accounts.
Yes.
And now I'm taking the $5,000. 10 years, it's gone up because of inflation. I totally understand that, and taxation. But when I'm 20 years into this plan, 65, now I'm 85, let's say.
Which we're seeing people live well past that.
Right, but now I'm 85, and I'm going to need to take how much again?
When you adjust $60,000 in today's dollars, what that would feel like today in 20 years to spend the same after inflation, historical of 3.8%.
Right.
And after a 20% bracket is 162,000. It's astronomical, and no one has a plan.
Who's planned for that?
Well, we are.
Because now all of a sudden, think about this. I didn't get to come see you. I didn't come see your firm, and I just went with it. And now I'm 85, and I can't take 160,000 out. So at the wrong time of my life, I have to cut how much I can spend. I get a huge pay cut.
And I see it every day.
But this is a pay cut when I might need the money the most because I'm 85.
It's why we do this show, and it's why we are passionate about it. You'll hear it. You'll hear us on the radio. You're going to see us on TV. This is something you must get.
We've got to go to commercial.
You have to control what you can control.
This is an amazing opportunity for you right now. I need you to pick up the phone, literally get off the couch, pick up the phone and call 844-657-1072. It's not a toll-free helpline. If you'll call up and take the chance, take the opportunity, claim right now, I want you to claim your copy of Joe's latest book, The 5 Agreements. And this is going to help you and your family get started on a much more confident financial future. And here's the obligation when you do it. There's none other than you have to get off the couch right now and dial 844-657-1072. There's a QR code. What that means is that little box. Snap it with your phone and you can fill it out and we will send you the book. Joe will send it. He's going to pay for shipping. He's going to pay for handling. He's going to put the book in your hand. The only thing you have to lose is not being on a confident financial future, and it's what you want, it's what you deserve. Now's the time to claim it. 844-657-1072. Stay tuned, because we've got a whole lot more coming up on Wise Money. And we're going to talk about the 3 little pigs some more. Stay tuned.
Just ahead, can you survive another market crash? Why current volatility makes having an advisor with perspective more important than ever. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Brad Johansson with Joe Wilson III, Omega Wealth Private Capital. I want to talk to you about retirement and minding your retirement, which takes us to what we harp on all the time.
Mind the gap.
Minding the gap. What is minding the gap?
I was over in London with our family a couple Christmases ago, and everywhere in their subway system is mind the gap, big yellow line. Think about this. You're walking down on this platform, hopping on a moving train. Back in the 60s, I believe it was, numerous people were falling into the gap. Think about the modern retiree. Think about your retirement. You've been working all these years from a firm foundation of a job, and you're stepping on this retirement destination. What you can't do is miss the gap. take your Social Security, take your pension. Now subtract that from the necessities you need in life to stay retired and the lifestyle that you want. There's usually a gap there. If you don't know how to fill that gap with what we like to call an income engine and adjusting that for after-tax dollars and inflation, this is the number one area we're seeing so many modern retirees mess up right here, not minding the income gap.
So we can create an income engine to fill that gap so that you can be and stay retirement ready?
It's not about getting retired now. It's about staying retired. When you look at the 50-year inflation number, 3.8%, that adds some serious expense 10, 15 years down the road. And after tax dollars, taxes are expensive. You got to have a plan for it.
We want you to call or click the QR code on your screen right now. You need to be minding your gap and creating an income engine to be and stay retirement ready. Meet with a professional in our office at Omega Wealth Private Capital so you can mind the gap, create an income engine that makes you be and stay retirement ready.
Welcome back to Wise Money. I'm your host, Mark Henry. I'm joined today with Joe Wilson, Omega Wealth Private Capital, and we've been having a crazy conversation like I've never had because we've been talking about the Three Little Pigs.
Yeah.
And I think it's time for us to blow the house down, isn't it?
The huff of
wait, do we have a special guest?
We do. I guess so. We've got
one of the pigs joined us. There you go. One of the Three Little Pigs is on the guest. But let's talk about blowing the house down. How does that impact retirees?
When you look at market volatility,
okay.
I love the markets. I'm a huge fan. I believe in, and we're passionate. Every dollar needs a job. So many folks, just because you're saving, and I said this earlier, just because you're saving, money could do three things. You can invest it, right? You can spend it, or you can lose it. And a lot of people think when you take that money and you're throwing it in underneath the mattress and you're throwing it in, we need to name this guy something that won't fit in there. You get what I'm doing. Throw it in there. The problem is because inflation is eating at that, the dollar is losing its value.
Correct.
And you must have a place over 20, 30 years. Think of this, if you're 60, you better be planning to see 90. It wasn't very long ago, but it does sometimes feel, if you're 60 today, you were 30. That's a long time. And when you realize inflation and taxes coming out, but then you have to add in market volatility. Years ago, I ran into somebody when I was at the big wirehouse firms and had saved quite a bit of money, retired in 1999, the beginning of the dot-com, and retired, was doing very, very well. He just did all the right things, but did one thing wrong, Mark. He happened to retire at the wrong time.
But what possible control did he have over when he retired?
Well, I love that you said it, because you control what you can control.
Right.
What he failed to do is to give every dollar a job. What he had done is kept investing the same way that he had been. That
got him where he was.
Everything was working, and he had a ton. But then you have the year of 2000, 2001, 2002.
What was that, a 30%?
Markets down
40?
over 42%.
Over 42.
In 3 years.
3 years.
Now remember, he's no longer working, so what is he doing? He's having to take money out. Plus, you have to pay taxes on that money. What he saw the decline of his portfolio forced him to do something that probably a lot of your coworkers, if you're watching this, you saw do. And they went back to work probably as a consultant. Mark, it's why so many times you see this in Charlotte. I see in Cincinnati. You have one neighbor. They drive similar cars. One drives a Toyota, one drives a Honda. The house is around the same price. One has a very good retirement. The other one doesn't. Usually, the difference, one of them retired in the wrong year. And when you look at the impact just going back to 2022, where both stocks and bonds are going down, listen to me. When it comes to retirement planning, if you're not planning for inflation and taxes, and all your money is being managed the same way, this should be a wake-up call, because over the next 30 years, are you certain, where the market is right now, that you have enough money to last if you manage it all the same way? You have to segment it. Every dollar needs a job.
I can't even possibly tell you how many people in my career I have seen in the Carolinas that come in and they have a plethora of accounts. They have a brokerage account. They have a 401.
Thank God.
They have an IRA. Yeah, it's great. They have a Roth. But then when I ask them questions, and I'm okay with this, I know they're not advisors, but I ask them questions about, well, tell me why this portfolio is set up this way. The answer is, well, I don't know, because it's just what they did. And then I say, okay, well, why is the Roth being managed in a 60-40 portfolio along with your IRA? One account you've already paid tax on, it grows tax-free. One account you haven't, but they're both in this similar 60-40 portfolio. Why would anybody do that? The timeline should be, with a proper holistic plan, completely different for those two accounts. Am I wrong?
Oh, I love it, because you need growth dollars. And that's one of the things we do at our firm. You need money to go to when the market is down. That's not being subject to the volatility of the market.
So am I wrong to say you'd want that in a less risky account?
What we look at, and everyone's different. It should be set up to you. But if my motto on this, if you're going to take some volatility, put that in the Roth. Because all the future growth of that dollar, when you go to take it out, is tax-free. And if you
Makes
pass
sense.
and it goes to the kids, guess
They
what?
get it tax-free.
Tax-free.
I love that.
This is an area, it's just where you're taking your risk, where are you allocating your money. Listen, if you're managing it all the same, that is such a challenge.
I don't understand it.
Because it only works if the market keeps working.
Correct.
And if you haven't looked at inflation and taxes and where to get your money out, and you hit those bad years, that's where people get in trouble in retirement.
Joe, I'm never going to look at this book, The Three Little Pigs, again the same way. But I want you to recap for me. We've only got about a minute and a half left, if you'll take us home. But I want you to recap for me, hit the highlight of The Three Little Pigs, the huff, the puff, and then your house being blown down.
Yeah, folks, you get one shot at retirement. We say that all the time. And when you look at where the market is right now, it's been a wonderful time. Markets are at all-time highs. Interest rates are solid. It has never been a better time to retire if you do proper planning. And the challenge that we're seeing right now, and I know you're seeing it in Charlotte because we talked about that on break, is so many modern retirees are just forgetting the huff of inflation, the puff of taxes, and the market volatility, because hidden risk is sitting inside so many portfolios right now. Why? Because the market's been on a tear.
Right.
But if you're not paying attention to where you're going to get your income, and if you don't have a written plan to know, I can take this much out, adjusted for taxes and inflation every year for the rest of my life, and you can sustain the retirement that you dreamed of, what are you doing? Because that's possible. And today you can do it. How do you do that? Well, our phone lines are open, 844-657-1072. If you've got your phone, take a scan of that QR code. It'll lead you to a page that will allow you to set up a time with one of our amazing fiduciary advisors. Hey, I wrote this book for you. It's not War and Peace. There's some simplicity to it. My 85-year-old dad loves this book. Smooch, smooch, Papa Joe. You get one shot at retirement. We want to help you be and stay retirement ready. Thank you for watching. Can't wait to see you next week. Thank you for watching Wise Money.
From tax time bombs to Social Security insecurities, strategic investments that help clean up your junk drawer and keep your income engine running smoothly at Omega Wealth Private Capital. We're fiduciary, independent, holistic wealth advisors, and we're here to turn your have-tos into get-tos. So, would you like your retirement dreams to move from good to great? Give us a call. It's what we do, because we really want to. Thanks so much for joining us. Hope to see you in the office. Until then, I'm Brad Johansson. We'll see you next time on Wise Money.